Hey guys, so if you're like me and you're low income and you're trying to get your budget figured out, and I know especially on TikTok and Instagram I'm seeing a lot of those beautiful budget binders and stuff, but I just don't have the money to drop on that when I need to pay my bills. This little paper here, it costs 99 cents, this one. And so what I did was I laid out the car payment that we're paying down. We've had a lot of medical bills. That's a hospital bill. My husband had major surgery, so we're getting all those bills in. And then these are a couple of the smaller medical bills that we have. And then over here, we got a credit card. We only have one, and we're working on paying that one off. And then I have extra payment to the mortgage. And as you can see, we're coloring in with markers. So if you're unsure and you're visual like me and you like to set it up, this is all I did. I just used a ruler and markers, very cheap. And then I was looking at the cash stuffing method. I want to try that. So, but I don't have the money to go out and buy all this stuff. So let me show you what I'm going to do for that. This is my kitchen table. My children are playing a video game, so you're going to hear them. That's my cat. The floof that you see on the floor, despite me sweeping and mopping, is my dog taking her stuffy apart. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these down to size. I have a dollar bill there, so I'm going to cut it down to size and make little envelopes, and I'll show you the result. So I'm using black construction paper. My kids don't like to use it that much because when you write on it, they can't see half their crayons and stuff. So here's the dollar bill, and I folded it the way I'm going to stuff it. And I'm trying to see what would give me the most, and I think putting it this way would give me the most bang for my buck. And then, because you can't see what you're doing, I'm going to try doing whiteout for a number or two. I've had this for years. This whiteout needs to be used. It's going bad and weird clumpy and stuff, so this is a perfect thing. And then for my change, all I did was get a Tupperware, and we put all of our change in here. And also, I paid my kids for their chores. They get 50 cents per chore. Some chores are not paid because life is life. You do things whether you're paid or not. And don't mind my table. It's secondhand. I need to sand it and refinish it. We've got a lot of house projects that I'll show you as well that we're going to do on a budget. So follow me for that. Okay, so here's everything cut up. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little stapler and let me see if I can. So basically I'm going to take my envelope, I'm going to staple it twice. And ta-da! Then I can fold it and slip it in. And that's basically what I'm going to do for all of these. That's something anyone can do. I bought this on clearance because I buy everything on clearance that I can. It's just a mini stapler, and then we'll come right back. Alright, so now that I have stapled all of these, yes, a Lego has made it into the scene. I've got kids, so I am now painting them. And I'm numbering them 1 through however many, because it's not, because I could do like the 100 envelope challenge with these, or I could set them up. My goal is to use these to help me save our emergency fund of $1,000, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, so we were able to get to 25, so this is 25 envelopes, so I can do like $5, you know, like increase it by 5s, like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, that way, and just go through. These will help save, and then we'll have to talk over categories and stuff. And then because life is life, I decided to use the ground beef that I have and trying to save some money. So from that, I'm going to make homemade chili. Most of these things I get at Aldi's. And then I'm going to make taco meat, which I can use for both walking tacos and rice and tacos with chips. So that's just what we're doing today too. Actually, butter and brown sugar with my Now what I do is pop them and all the juice off. All that reddish stuff coming out of the beans. I don't like that taste, so I tend to wash it off. And then the reason why my sink is dirty is because it's leaking on the bottom. So while this is going, I do about 1.5 pounds of hamburger meat that I brown. And this is going to serve two purposes, because as soon as I'm done browning this meat, I'll drain the grease, put it in the chili thing, and then I'm going to dump in another 1.5 pounds of ground beef, and I'm going to make tacos. So, and yes, my stove is very dirty because tonight, after it's all cooled off, I deep clean my stove once a week, as well as the microwave. So that's what this one is. Each day has like a cleaning day. I give myself a day to relax, and then I have a cleaning day. And that's because I have several health problems that slow me down, make it hard for me to keep up. Sorry, kids are playing a game with housework and stuff. So, all right. And this is what it looks like, and we're going to add our beans to it. So here are the beans. I'm going to add it in. I don't add any water in this until I have the meat in, because I don't like a watery chili. We like a chunky chili. This is my mother-in-law's recipe for black bean hamburger and rice. I don't ever do the black beans and the rice thing, but I do use the seasoning mix here because we like it. It tastes really good. And since it's for 1/2 to 1 pound, and I do 1.5 pounds, I just, instead of 1 teaspoon of dried onion powder, it's 1.5. Instead of 1 teaspoon of garlic, 1.5. Instead of 1/2, it's 3/4. And then that's all I do. Some of these I measure with the heart. Some of these I don't, like crushed dried red peppers. So that's what I'm going to be doing while everything's cooking. So this is how I have the stove set up and going. So while all of this is cooking, right here, I had made some carnita meat, and my husband got sick, so I haven't been able to use it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to freeze it all. So I'm going to get it out, freeze it, and clean it, and just put it in the freezer. It's already cooked, so it'll be ready, and I'm going to portion it into 2 portions, so I can just pull it out thawed, and I usually just put it on some pasta. So the meat is done, so I'm just going to transfer the meat to the pot. Alright, so as you can see, it needs a little bit of liquid, so I'm just going to add some filtered water from a clean cup. And then I like to use metal with my chili. And then I'm just going to stir it. Woohoo! And then I'll bring it to a boil, cover, and let it simmer for 30 minutes. Alrighty, so while that is getting ready to come to a boil, we now have the hamburger meat, and we're going to brown it till it's half pink, and then we'll drain half of the grease. So we still want some grease, unpopular opinion, but we want it for moisture. And we'll put our seasoning in before it's completely brown, so that way the flavor really soaks into it. Alright, so here's the carnitas in the 2-gallon bags. So I'm just going to separate it, and I am going to use my hands, which I washed, and they're clean. I'm going to wash them right after this phone. So I'm just going to separate it, and when we come back, we will have 2 cooked meat meals. That's just all the yumminess on the top frozen. Alright, so this is how they look. I flatten them as much as I can. And this is my freezer. It's very small, So it's very important that I put it flat so it freezes flat and I have room. Like the cheese I'm gonna have to defrost. I'm gonna make homemade pizzas, and I have some easy meals, some ice cream that we can eat because there's no lactose, and then this is just what I have kind of saved up. And that's a normal freeze. Alright, so the meat is half brown, so we're gonna drain this grease that's right here, and then we're gonna add in our seasoning. So I've drained the meat. Now we're gonna add in all of our taco seasoning while it's red. And then we're going to mix it and let it cook in this way. And it really traps the flavor in. I would drain all the grease, and the meat is very, very dry. And this way, the seasoning actually cooks in to the meat as it's browning, and having a little bit of grease helps. And here she is, all browned, looking good and simmering. And the chili is also simmering, so. This will turn into walking tacos because I have some lettuce that needs to be eaten up and a little bit of Doritos. So that's perfect. And then the rest of it, I'll make some rice, and then we'll do tacos and rice with chips. So it makes a couple of meals for me, especially because I'm going in to do a little bit of work. I got a job to work the month that my husband was out because we needed to bring the income in, and we cannot afford a sitter for kids. So I'll be finishing that job soon. But that means I do have to squeeze all the housework and the cooking into kind of several days.